Hello, everybody, and welcome to the all-newly named channel, unless you're an audiocast listener, in which case this is how it's always been. We are now going forth calling this channel Indoor Adventures, because that is what we have. Obviously, I will still be the Indoor Adventurer, but I figured this channel was never really about me, even when I was doing Simple and Keen videos last year. That still wasn't about me, that was about all of you guys, so I wanted to have a name that kind of meant more along those lines, not just for me, but also so that way, you know, we can have consistent branding. Except the biggest April Fool of all is that we don't, because Indoor Adventures is too long on Twitter, so instead, you can always find me at Indoor What the Fuck. But, besides that point, it is April 1st, and you are loved, and that's no April Fool. Always remember that. Also, it is 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is where you can find us streaming live. So if you enjoy the stuff we do, possibly come by and check that out. And then I think that is it for my announcements, except I have a general announcement that we always do at the beginning of the show, guys, which is... All right, I've done it. I think so. Yep. Hey guys, it's me, the Indoor Adventurer, here on April Fool's Day. Don't be no baka. We got indoor merch on bit.ly/indoor merch. So if you're interested in that, come on by. And that's my bit. I hope you liked it. I trained for this. I went to school. Yes.
What the fuck?
Look, I had
it literally just appeared out of nowhere. Like, holy fuck. Like, faster than the camera could change.
Yes!
It was just like, there.
I'm so glad. That is what I wanted it to do.
I was like, why is he looking down over his glasses like a granny?
So, if you're interested in getting some sweet merch, including a mug that is slightly out of my reach, an awesome t-shirt, I guess those are short t-shirts, which is the crop tops that we do have, which have our proper branding on them. So there, that's another reason. Now I don't have to change any of the clothing that we've made that already says one thing versus the other. So, with that in mind, guys, who are we playing tonight? Well, RJ's gone, so sorry.
Well, apparently my name has changed on the overlay. So I don't know. I've been unconscious for the last thing, but I typically play Blake, the Blood Hunter Dragonborn.
Yes.
You did at one point. And I'm still playing Coriander, the Eldrin Paladin. Regardless of what form she takes, she'll always be our Cori. And I'm Danae. I don't know if we've met. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I'm RJ here, and I play Caelum, the Shadow Guy Cleric, and that's going to be a problem I'm going to need to solve later.
Flawless intro. So, and with that in mind, I am the Indoor Adventurer, and I will be your Dungeon Master for this evening. So, last time we met, you guys were on a deserted island that had once belonged to a hag, where, using the powers of your Golthia staff, were able to command a variety of tree, needle, twig, and vine blights to form together into a large ship, which you then just rode out of town. You said fuck it to this deserted island after you met with a large plant-like creature who referred to Caelum as Mother. Having set out on to sea, Cori, who was having a bad time experiencing her winter form, that is something that she has never once done for to our party members. She was being consoled by Caelum when you guys saw another ship approaching from far off along the shore. Or not even the shore, but along your view line into the ocean. As darkness overtook you, eventually that ship found its way to you, where it was filled with pirates, specifically a were-tiger and a minotaur, who made quick work of you guys, actually throwing the majority of you overboard, but not before Blake was able to blast a hole with a well-timed vial of cave fisher blood and a explosive arrow to just detonate a hole in the side of this ship. However, he was then stunned, thrown overboard, and made quick work of by sharks. Caelum, you dove in overboard to try and save Cori, where you watched as she repeatedly got attacked by these sharks as well. And then, while all of you were underwater, Gwen also having been thrown overboard, Caelum and Gwen being the only two conscious to see this, the two of you witnessed as Blake's form changed into this large 10-foot tall hybrid humanoid dragon looking creature that shot through the sky like a just jet black streak, making quick work of all of these pirates and bringing all of you back up onto the ship, or onto the deck of your ship. Caelum, you still being one of the two that remain conscious, as Blake's form, or in Tarleon's voice coming out from the body of Blake, was quickly subdued with a use of the Archangelic Necklace, a necklace that our Dragonborn friend had received from a tiefling hedge mage in the city of Shroudport named Makoth. You watched as this form was, it almost in a way, it was like putting a sleeping bag into a much smaller container. Like there was just too much being forced into too small of a space back. Your friend, Blake, ended up collapsing to the ground with this glowing green, kind of bright yellow symbol just emanating from his chest, seemingly passed out. And Caelum and Gwen were the only two who saw on the other ship a human figure with a flaming dagger, long brown hair that kind of lightens up to more of a yellowish hint at the end, who just goes, "Holy shit!" And then just calls out again, "Permission to come aboard?"
Are you gonna try to fight us?
No!
Okay.
And you see them jump off their end of the aft castle of the ship that they're on and misty step over to where you guys are and just lands onto the ground and stands close to you, Caelum, and puts her hand down and just says, "Tifa, it's nice to meet you."
Caelum, I think we'll call this one a draw.
Not my ship. Not my men. I just came here looking for safety. It's good?
Good. Sorry, one sec. And then he turns to Cori, 2 hands on her shoulder, cure wounds level 2.
Okay.
Roll.
Is that a
Roll
1
that
or a
beautiful
7? That
footage.
is 12 points of healing.
Oh, thank you. You healed me at the end of last session, but
Yeah,
never
but
actually...
I never gave you HP.
Right. Okay. So
I listened to the episode.
I did the same thing.
Good.
All right. Thank you. Coriander sits up like a bad guy in a scary movie.
Hi.
She will look at the blonde.
And just extends their hand out towards you as well and puts their dagger away and just says, "Tifa."
Cori.
Well, now that we're on friendly terms, she kind of just looks around and just, where are you going?
Is this a human elf?
Yeah, it is a human female.
Human. All right. Misty step.
Arcane tricksters have that.
Yeah. I don't know. I always go like, Faye, every time I see somebody teleport. So
Got a hint of Faye somewhere around here, guys.
yeah, hint of Faye.
Caelum's gonna like walk over to Blake and just like, okay, so before you freak out, Cori,
As you are finding the right words, you hear a rumbling from behind you that sort of just starts clattering on the ground. And when you look back, you see that Blake's body is beginning to seize. It looks like it's going through convulsions right now.
All right. Cori immediately goes into action. She's gonna go to Blake's side and roll him on his side.
Okay.
Just to make sure he doesn't, choke on his tongue or drown in vomit or, she's gonna do the thing you do when someone starts to seize.
Okay.
Would I be able to help at all with this with a lay on hands?
Make a Arcana check.
I'm gonna be so good at that, guys. Don't you know it? Oh, I never actually grabbed my dice tower from the Wild West game I ran this weekend.
Without
I know. Cheating on you guys.
us.
It's just a reflavored Lost Mines of Fandelver. And this is a rabbit trail that I didn't intend. But I'm mostly just killing time while I look up my stats. It's 4. I rolled a 4.
All right. Okay. Yeah, so you have no idea whether or not this will actually help or not.
All right, I'll give him 5 cc's of lay on hands.
Okay.
That is to say,
so
hit points.
as you put the 5 points of lay on hands, you feel that the magic does, like, the divine magic does work. It does enter into his person, but it's not subsiding whatever it is that is currently going on. And you see that the symbol on his chest is just glowing erratically now. There doesn't seem, whereas before it seemed like it would glow more as like a heartbeat, this seems like it is a very tumultuous thing that is going on. And you both can make perception checks as you kind of watch him convulse.
15.
Yeah, 15 as well.
Okay. Yeah, so the both of you actually see while this is happening as your friend just kind of shakes on the ground and convulses, that where his head is, you actually see for brief moments what look like after images of kind of another dragon's face. That same kind of, as Caelum, you would know, that hybrid dragon form. That sort of like stretches out and leaves an area where it was, but it doesn't have any kind of physical person, and you can see that it looks angry, like it is trying to escape itself.
So,
Caelum! And Gwen comes up and just kicks you in the shin. Just, what is happening?
I don't know.
Do something! And she just kind of motions towards the form on the ground.
I'm gonna try and cast Calm Emotion, because that's what I'm gonna try to do at second level.
Okay.
On him. Nada.
All right. That's a wisdom save. So
14.
yeah. So as you cast the spell, you realize that this, whatever's happening, is not an emotional state. This isn't a like spurt of anger or rage. This is a physical thing that's happening, possibly deeper in. You aren't necessarily sure what's happening. You've read your fair share of medical books, but healing spells should have worked. This should have worked. You're not exactly sure what to do from here.
Cori sure appreciates it though. Like as she was trying to help Blake and nothing seemed to be happening, like the tears started like pouring out of her face again. And then calm emotion. And also, how does that affect Gwen?
Gwen just, what the fuck, dude? Not the time! She seems just still really pissed. She rolled a 16 on the die in order to save against it.
Dag, yo.
Just, he's got like some, okay, I rage, I get a spirit guy, you go places, you get a spirit thingy, and you two do the trance thing I don't know this magic shit. Do you think could you try and like meditate with him, calm him down or some shit?
I've never tried it before, but you know, can I make an Arcana check to see if that would work? Would trancing like that only be
make an Arcana check?
Dirty 20. Actually, 22.
Ooh.
You aren't sure necessarily how it would work, but you're pretty sure if you gave it a go, you could make something work.
Okay, you know what? Caelum, like, he's gonna start taking the precautions to make sure that if Blake is seizing, he's not gonna hurt himself.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, belt in the mouth. Would you tie someone down who's seizing?
Mm-mm.
No, just let him go, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Make sure there's no like sharp things that they can bump into.
Caelum's gonna like sit down by Blake's head, take it, put it in his lap, close his eyes, and try to start trancing.
So you feel, as you try and do this, you feel your consciousness beginning to drift, but then it is just swatted back immediately. It's almost like getting hit in the side of the head with the force that this just pops back.
Ow.
Yeah, you see his head like jerk upwards. Something's stopping me from going in.
And then Gwen's just hands out, just okay. The last time that I was with Blake and he did this, I played my flute. So music soothes the savage beast, right?
One can only hope.
Okay. And then Gwen begins setting up for a this kind of Goliath ritual circle, almost. Much in the same way that you've seen Blake do his blood hunter rituals. You haven't really seen Gwen do this kind of thing before, but she's made mention of it before and in your travels that these are pretty common occurrences in Goliath culture. And she sits down and she begins pulling out her flute. Are you going to try again, Caelum?
Yeah, I'm gonna try again, but I'm gonna slap a command on top of it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell Blake to, or whoever, like Blake or Caroline, to relax.
Okay.
During this time, Cori will go get Blake's coat and plush, and she has to shake some like frost out of the inside of the coat. She'll lay it down on top of him.
It's probably also very wet from being in the ocean.
No. That's true.
No, because
No, she wasn't in the coat when she fell in the water.
Right. Just the plush.
Yep.
Alrighty. So, yeah, Caelum, you try this command and you feel yourself expel the magic, but it just washes over your friend's form and doesn't actually come to any issue. And Gwen just stops fluting and turns towards Cori, and says, "You two make like crystal babies and shit when you're together. Like maybe turn this into a crystal baby. That way we don't have to fucking deal with it. Just toss it overboard."
I don't know if we can do that.
Well, it's better than doing nothing. And she just goes back to playing her flute in a very like almost like a funeral march kind of style, where it's very very sad fluting.
Cori's gonna reach out and grab Caelum's hand.
He takes it.
Okay.
She looks like she's going to say something, and then she just sort of steels herself and reaches out and puts her other hand on Blake. And she's going to try and brute force her way in there.
Okay. So as you go to brute force your way in there, the two of you begin to feel your consciousnesses leave you. And at this point, as you feel yourselves beginning to fall, like you typically do when going into Caelum's dreams and his meditative state, you actually find yourself drifting, and instead following the rhythmic path of this fluting that sort of seems to lead you through what almost feel like back alleys and just roads that are better left untraveled. And as you feel yourselves arriving and kind of regaining your consciousness, it begins to feel very warm, and you can feel a very erratic wind just kind of blowing to and from you. And at this point, that is where I am going to step back in perhaps the greatest April Fool's Day of all and let my dear friend Cyberwolf DM while I just get to sit back and enjoy the story as it unfolds. Because on April Fool's Day, not even I know the direction my world will take. So it's a good time. So I'm going to transition over here. And while we do that, I'll get set up. Cyber, if you want to lead him in.
Cool. Well, as you once more enter your trance, being blown whichever way by the winds of chance, I guess. I had to take off my headphones for like all of that transition. So, you both find yourself in a place that is very much not familiar. Most of the times when you trance, you end up in a place that is part of one of your memories or part of the memories of the people that you trance with. You're not sure if Blake has been here or not, but you're in this, what's almost like a cathedral, but filled with books. So like sort of like the Salune library, but there's warm sunlight filtering in through all this stained glass, balconies upon balconies, floors upon floors of tomes, ancient and new, everywhere. And you look around and you see sort of like the fuzzy outlines of people, almost as if they are non-essential NPCs. People that whose ever memory this person that you ended up with. People that they did not pay attention to, people that they would not recognize. And you seem alone for the moment.
Cori
Macaw.
looks... Oh, sorry.
Why don't you describe the moments leading up to this point?
Well, I was in my shop in Shroudport, minding my own business, doing what I thought was going to be just a routine check of, my underground oddities, and a heart started beating. Specifically, a heart that I had acquired from an archangel that died in my basement about a month and a half ago. Other parts of it started to glow, and, well, there was only one person that I've ever given any of this creature to, and that was, of course, my dear friend, Blake. So, even though we normally meet up every once in a while, every few nights or so in the dreaming, I thought that this was cause for a mild alarm. And if it happened, then what caused the power to activate? What caused one of the feathers to burn? That I would like to know. And so I entered into my dreaming and tried to go say hello to a friend.
Right, and so you take the moments to cast this spell, and for the first time that you cast it, the spell does not take hold.
Well, that's certainly not good.
That's definitely not good. But you take a few breaths, thinking, okay, this is definitely not good. Now it's not the time to panic. Let me take a few moments, breathe, and cast it one more time. And so you do. And the experience is draining. This is taking excruciating effort to accomplish, as you feel your consciousness being pulled through the weave across this continent to where your friend is. And the place that you appear, the place that you find yourself in, is not the place where you've shared pumpkin bread and tea with your friend, but it is a place that you recognize. And you weren't expecting to find yourself back among these halls, back among these shelves of books. And you certainly weren't expecting to see yourself picking tomes from some of these pages and scurrying along in this weird out-of-body experience.
Oh. And if I, using the powers of the dreaming of this spell, I'm going to try and possibly shape the realm around me. If I was in control, then I would be able to. I'm guessing that does not take effect.
Well, roll an Arcana check using your Charisma modifier.
Okay. That's a nat 1.
No. So this is probably something that you would be able to do if you were at your fullest, but there's something very draining here. Something here feels off. This is not what a drain spell normally ends up being.
Oh, good. Good. I'll, against my better judgment, I'm going to follow myself. I know how it's going to play out, but at the same time, I mean, might as well if I look around and then everybody else is just kind of faded out. It's like when you're looking at an animation cell and there's one book that is like the animated quality versus the background. You're like, the character will pick up that book soon. Yeah, same kind of thing. I'm following along because it seems right.
Cori and Caelum, you would see this before. You would notice this before Makoth does. Or you would notice this before Makoth notices you. There is one tiefling, a female tiefling that is colored in, not blurred and faded out, who's making her way semi-suspiciously, I guess I would say, between a couple of these bookshelves. and roll a insight, whatever skill that you think you would do to see if you recognize this person, this person who's a lot more spry and chipper, and not blindfolded.
4.
4.
12.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a female tiefling. Seems to be a student here.
But she is, colored in, right?
Yeah, she's colored in. Like, this seems essential NPC. Something is glaringly obvious there. And as she continues moving, it's not soon after that you would see Makath. And Makath, you would notice Cori. Well, you would notice an Eladrin in winter.
She used to be in her winter form, but in the dream world, she entered into her moon maiden form.
Okay.
Which is fiery white hair, kind of grays and whites.
Okay. So you see this like silver flame elf and this grayscale Shatter Kai that you certainly do recognize. And you were not expecting to see anybody else in this because you know how this plays out. And they certainly weren't there.
Yep. Cori's looking at Caelum and saying, I don't recognize this place. Is this one of yours?
No, not that I... Oh, it's a library, to be sure.
I'm afraid it's one of mine. And Makath will just step into frame from slightly out because it seems spookier for them.
There's that Scooby-Doo moment of, whoa!
Yep. Cori goes for her sword and then she's like, Makath? What are you doing here?
Well, Blake's necklace had gone off. I wanted to make sure that everything was okay.
It's not.
No.
No.
Oh?
So we were... Oh, God, where do I condense? We were fighting pirates, and we got thrown overboard. Blake got thrown overboard.
And then there were sharks.
There were sharks, and they started eating him, and then he got bigger and killed the sharks and the pirates. And he flew. And the necklace sort of started burning away, and he said, no, not again.
I don't think he was quite himself.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that certainly makes things...
Complicated?
Yeah. That's a way to put it, for sure. Bigger how? Like, just could fly?
He was like a good 10 feet tall.
Oh. That's new.
Yeah.
So, what else happened? He got bitten by sharks and then he got smaller. Did he get... What happened? How did that happen?
Well, the necklace, he was bigger. He was on the deck of the ship. A feather started burning away, and he started shrinking. He was having seizures. He's having seizures. We tranced in.
Wait, what? What do you mean you tranced in?
I need everybody to roll a perception check, please.
Okay.
Oh, good. How doth the woman with a blindfold on do?
Well,
this is your dreamscape, so
A 17.
you would still have a pretty good.
when two elves get together and are very good friends.
And they hold hands in front of a dragonborn. 18.
18.
Yeah.
Cori, what'd you get?
5.
Cool. And McCarthy, you said you got a
17.
17. Okay. Okay. So both of you would notice as you're talking to Cori, there's a like bit of red that like drops on her, and then like sizzles away.
Like from above?
Yep.
I look up.
And it's sort of just like sitting above like one of these bookshelves, sort of like it's clipping into this cell, this cathedral library thing. You see a giant beating heart.
Is that yours too, Makoth? Please say it is.
That was not there last time.
And you see there's this like platinum silver thing just like sticking out of it, like it's like a briar just like sticking out of this heart, and it's steadily dripping blood.
I'm gonna pull Cori slightly away from that. Okay.
Macabre pulls out a small vial and just extends it. Just gets a few drips, caps it, sets it back into her pocket.
Every opportunity to collect a component.
And this heart looks like it's beating fast.
Like,
and not steady at all.
okay. All right. Divine Sense!
Okay. Tell me what Divine Sense does again.
Fey, Fiend, Undead, Celestial. I can tell if it's hallowed or unhallowed.
And what's the range on this?
60 feet, anything that I can see.
Okay. This, you'll be able to get part of it in the radius, I guess. Fey, Fiend, Celestial, and Undead.
Yep.
You were getting hints of Undead, Celestial, Fiend, and Hallowed.
For Coriander's, like, overstimulated. Where I know the location of each of those things. Are they all coming from the horse? The horse. Wow. Whoa,
They're all coming from
the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Holy moly! Like
The heart does.
My brain replaced a word. It's all coming from the heart.
It's all coming from the heart.
Holy fuck. Coriander takes a step back and goes, 9 hells in a handbasket.
What's up?
I'm getting pretty much every source under the moon.
You're not getting Fey. You're specifically not getting Fey.
I'm getting everything but Fey from that. She points at it.
Okay.
Celestial, Fiend, and Undead. And hallowed? Unhallowed?
Like this would be consecrated.
Consecrated, okay. And it's consecrated somehow.
Oh.
Well, I guess the real question is, how do we get there? If anything.
It is sitting like a couple of like balconies up. It seems like it's clipping into like that area.
Okay.
It's not unreachable. It's not just like in the ceiling unreachable.
Got it.
You could. There's a definite path to it if this is the same library that you remember.
I really hope it is.
I can get there, it's just the getting down is going to be more difficult.
Well, hopefully we won't need to go back down. I don't know. Maybe it's like
Eru?
Maybe it's like that famous painter, Escher, where everything just leads into everything else, going wobbledy which way.
Oh, with the staircases going like...
The very same, yes.
I hate that one.
Oh.
I have no real clue. But if this is the library that I think it is, then we need to go this way, and I'll point towards the way that I think.
Yeah, so like back toward the center of this library, there's just like a central staircase that like goes out to each of these balconies.
Okay.
And you just follow it 2 floors up. So you're on the 3rd floor looking down on everything. You see all of the classmates that you never really paid attention to just continuously going about their studies. Some people picking stuff off of books. But you, along this walkway, overshadowing a lot of the books that were on this particular floor, most of them just like ancient like treatises on alchemy that are probably like 8 editions to definitely needed an update. There's just this heart. It doesn't seem like it's like damaging any of the things. It just looks like it's phasing into this. Like neither the library or this heart are either physical.
Well, that's good.
Start heading for the stairs. This is your memory, McCall?
Well, minus the big beating heart, yes. I did go to school. I am learned. I just didn't stay here very long, is all.
Why would it take us here?
Oh, I'm sure there are lots of reasons why it would take us here. This isn't the best day for me. Not like now, but what memory this takes place is not the greatest. And she'll just...
As you glance to the side, back to the place that you were avoiding looking, you do see this tiefling student just pull one of the books off of this shelf of biographies.
And this is a sighted tiefling student, yes?
Yes.
I see. Cori will like put a hand on her shoulder and just say, I'm sorry.
Oh, don't be. I knew better to begin with, and I sure as hell knew better afterwards, so what happens, happens. For better or worse, I suppose.
The past is the past. We can only move forward. And as she,
yeah.
And as she says that, I imagine we find ourselves in front of the heart.
You actually like take another step and you realize that it splashes. And you look down. There's definitely blood there. And as you look at the heart, there's another piercing. Just sort of begins reaching its way out.
Is it like it's got like barbs coming from the inside of the heart and going outward?
They look like very precious metals that are coming from inside the heart and piercing it outward.
I guess you could say it's time to get to the heart of the matter. Ha 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 ha. Caelum's like reaching a hand out.
Caelum, take a point of inspiration.
I see how it is.
Yeah, it's the puns. Puns and fourth wall breaks.
I missed power outage. Now's my time to shine.
Yeah, Makatha's definitely gonna put her hand on your back, Caelum, and just, that's the spirit. I didn't take you for somebody to have a more morose sense of humor, but I mean, what else are we gonna do?
I've been learning.
She just gives you a big tiefling grin.
With like this really big wince, he puts his hand right on the heart.
And as you put your hand on the heart, you just feel yourself being not really pulling in, you're just like sort of phasing through. But on the other side of this membrane, it is humid.
Gross.
Gross. I think I'm okay. It's a little hot, humid. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna take a look around.
Oh, as you are all three of you going in, or are you just sending Caelum forward?
Oh. He seems
Caleb goes in, I follow him.
really into it right now. I will follow along with Cori.
So it's not like a physical transition. It's sort of like you stick your hand through and your entire form sorts of like leave this library and enter this weird amalgamation of like Jabu Jabu's belly, the Dark of Hardness from Alice Madness Returns. You're just in this very fleshy, sticky, damp, humid. Lots of words. Lots of really gross words.
Don't like any of those words.
But you notice that behind you is just a full sheet of this platinum. And you're in this sort of like cave, like this cavern hallway. It's just made of this flesh. But instead of like the cave opening behind you, it's just completely flush with this platinum.
Hear the heart beating.
The heart is beating. It is not enough to like constrict this hallway, and not enough to like really shake things in this hallway or wherever you are. But you can definitely hear that continuous like.
Gross.
Neat. She's down.
And all three of you are here. The path opens in front of you.
Cori's gonna look to Caelum and then look to Macaw and say,
sorry, one more thing. You do hear my internet connection's unstable, so if I need to repeat anything, just let me know. You do hear sort of like this echoing like waterfall from further down.
ooh. Forward it is then.
Like any of this at all.
Cori will take her sword out and lead the way.
And as you say that you don't like any of this at all, it just echoes down the hallway.
Yeah, Macath just has her quarterstaff out that she's kind of using as a walking stick and just trudges forward. And she'll look at Caelum and say, well, what's the worst that could possibly happen?
Don't you dare say that!
Macaw,
No!
take your inspiration.
Yes.
Why did we allow this? I just realized, oh my god, Indor's a player in the main campaign now. Oh no!
Oh yeah.
Just for April Fools.
Just for April Fools, he's a player in his own campaign in a veritable one-shot.
You know, we have April Fools and goofs all the time. We have some silly times, but then, then Coriander's in her winter form. Blake's getting eaten by sharks. Like, we're all fun and games, but then consequences. When will you realize that we have consequences? All right, sorry.
So as you continue down this hallway, it starts to open up into this more spacious cavern, and you can see that source of the waterfall sounds. It's surprise! It's blood.
Oh.
So the floor of this cavern is pretty much covered in this, all coming from this sort of like central point where you can see three smaller pieces of platinum sort of like stuck into the top of this room.
feel like we should be doing something about that.
So there's the jutting pieces of platinum,
Mhm.
and then there's a waterfall.
Yeah, the waterfall is coming from where these pieces of platinum have pierced the lining of this artery.
I'm gonna need a bigger healer's kit.
And as you say that, one of the pieces dislodges itself.
Oh, fuck.
Scoots away.
It appears to sort of resembles a sword.
How large is it? I'm sorry.
About the size of a greatsword.
Oh,
Like compared to you, like if you were to pick this up, it would function as a greatsword within your hands.
I see.
And soon after this one dislodges itself, two more, the other two remove themselves, and the waterfall starts gushing just a little bit more. I need everybody to roll for initiative.
Oh fuck.
Oh fuck.
You did this to me, Caelum. It was you.
And essentially, this area would be considered difficult terrain because there is a current. But I mean, it's the area of the mine, so we're not really caring about like ranges or anything.
It's just difficult, yo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you guys now, I got 2 first level spells.
So whenever you went into the drain space, that essentially functioned as a long rest.
Oh,
So
Sweet.
that's kind.
So please, everybody, make sure you fill up on your stuff.
Go fuck yourself, indoor.
Click, click, click. Spell slot, spell slot, spell slot.
I'm back.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming at the end of this, everyone will get a long rest.
God, I hope so.
God,
I don't know. You may die.
No.
Who's to say?
If you die in the dream, you'll die in real life.
I don't know. Y'all may end up killing Blake.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
I would.
I would. Spend so long trying to kill a character, just needed to make them fight each other. That was the simplest way.
So, did anybody get higher than a 20? I did not roll for these guys.
Guys,
Ruh-oh.
That's fine.
That's a plural.
I need to go through and re-prepare my spells.
Yes, please do that.
So, a little background information, a little Knights of the
lore?
Courtyard before
Lore's
yeah.
in MF and chat.
a little Knights of the Courtyard outside of the courtyard. I have spell lists for each of my forms that whenever I have a long rest, I take the opportunity to match up to whatever season I'm in. And I was in my winter spells for last week, and they are not very helpful for the current situation. So.
Also, if anyone in chat or watching this live is interested, you can check out Makoth's stats on D&D Beyond by
D&D
just
Beyond.
dragging your mouse over the image and then going to the left-hand side.
I had the D&D Beyond overlay up, and I saw Blake leave and Makoth pop up. I was like, huh?
Nani?
Yeah.
Dad?
Okay, did anybody get higher than a 20 on their initiative?
Daddy? No.
Nope.
Did anybody get higher than a 15?
16.
I would have, but -1.
Web swing.
Web swing.
And Cori, you got less than a 15?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You'll be going last.
Yay! I'm Caelum today.
You're Caelum today? Cool.
I'm-
When'd you get level 20?
So what was the what was the marching
You assume
order?
I'm going to be a Caelum at 12.
It was Caelum in front, and then it was Cori and Makoth in back when we entered the room.
Okay.
I am in the front, aren't I?
So since you're the one who alerted this particular sword, it is going to come after you, Caelum,
Come get it.
Oh boy.
with a melee weapon attack. Will a 7 hit?
No.
Okay.
Thankfully not.
That's fine because the second sword will also come and try to attack you. It will not get advantage because flanking stuff is BS, and I rolled a natural 1.
Yay!
So it's gonna miss and actually stick itself in the ground below you, in the wet, bloody, fleshy floor.
Gross.
And be considered prone. And so y'all get all the juicy stuff that y'all get with that. Makath, it is now your turn.
All right. Well, that's kind of grody. So, what I am going to do is that I will extend my staff out, and it'll be two-handed out, and I will cast an Eldritch Blast towards the greatsword.
The one in the air or the one on the floor?
I'll do the one in the air because the one on the floor is useless to me.
Say the line, Warlock.
So that is going to be a 16 to hit.
A 16 unfortunately will just miss.
Well,
like it'll sort of like skirt along the metal, but it's sort of reflecting off of this as it hits, this like spark of golden energy just like kicks it off.
Oh boy. I'm gonna swing with the base of my staff and fire off my second Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
So a 21 to hit.
A 21 will definitely hit. Please roll for
Alrighty.
damage.
2.
All right. You have chinked its armor.
Yeah. It's because I'm so strong and powerful.
All right. But it is now the third sword's turn, and it is going to try to defend its friend and come for you, Makath.
Bring it.
Will a 17 hit?
A 17 most certainly hits.
Alrighty then.
By the by, is my cat friend here?
Yes. It did not appear until it just like jumped off one of the bookshelves on you. You weren't expecting it to appear, but then it finally did.
Okay. Cool.
So Makath, you're going to be taking 6 points of slashing damage and 3 points of radiant damage.
Oh. Nuts.
Ooh, interesting.
Okay. I am going to use my reaction to cast Hellish Rebuke, so it needs to make a dex save.
All right. Cool. It has hellish in the name. I'm going to make it do it with disadvantage because I can do that. It rolled a natural 1.
Yes. So it is going to take 22 points of fire damage.
What does that look like as it eviscerates, as your hellish energy just like engulfs this celestial sword?
So it is basically Makath's hand stretches out after she's been hit with this greatsword, and I'm guessing it kind of like grazed across her front or like hit her shoulders area. Like where did it hit? Somewhere in the torso, I'm assuming. And so she'll extend her hand out, and you guys will see almost like if somebody cast fairy fire on a fire elemental, how it's just the outline of flames, and then the outline that is this rainbow color flickers until it forms what looks to be a solid line, and then it just fills itself in with Vantablack, like just that unpenetratable black view of just these flames that erupt over the sword, and then once they disappear, there's just nothing.
Can you also roll a dexterity saving throw for me?
Oh boy, can I? That is going to be a 12.
Okay, a 12. So whenever this hits you, you feel your foot slip on the bloody floor.
Okay.
You do not slip. You are not knocked prone. But yeah.
But my sandaled feet are definitely feeling icky and gross.
You just notice that whenever the sword hits you, you sort of almost lost your balance.
Okay.
Caelum.
Hello. I'm gonna raise my shield, cast my bless spell. Bless.
Hashtag bless. Everybody gets a D4.
Everybody gets a D4 to saving throws and attack rolls.
Oh, Caelum, you shouldn't have.
Okay, anything with your bonus
Special
action?
Caelum blessed eye.
Hey.
I'm going to speak the command word and whip out my snake.
Okay, you have
Oh
a
my.
snake.
Yeah, the staff of the adder, the top turns into a viper.
Yes.
Damn.
Okay, Cori.
That's me. How many swords are left?
2. One of them is currently impaled in the ground. The other one is flying in the air near
I
Caelum.
see. So there is one that is prone,
Mhm.
and there is one that's flying through the air after Caelum. I'm going to
They're both
near Caelum. All right. Well, I'm going to go after the prone one because
you would get advantage.
tactics. Exactly. Here I come with my sword to attack a sword. Ah. Alrighty. Oh no! All of my stats were written on my on my tower. I have to look like at the actual stats like a plebeian.
But you can use D Beyond.
24, 25, 26 to hit.
26 will certainly hit.
Die, fool, die.
What's the damage?
Here come damage. That is 12 slashing damage
Okay.
on the sword. How does it feel after that?
So you notice that like pieces of it definitely do fall off, but they fall into almost like perfect rhombuses.
I see.
But you're definitely doing damage to the sword, and you look like one more hit like that would certainly do the sword in.
All right. I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Divine Favor on myself, and then I'll attack again.
Okay.
And Divine Favor just gives me more damage on attacks. 15 plus 22, 23 to hit.
23 hit will hit.
Okay. And here comes damage. That's going to be... I have to go back and look at my sword again. 11 slashing damage.
Okay.
Plus 2 radiant damage. Which, in retrospect, that's probably not great, actually. Why did I do this?
It's enough to destroy the sword. Do you want to describe it?
I think that she just basically hacks it in half. Like, she hits it once and some like metal bits fly off of it. Then she hits it a second time and it just chunk.
All right. But there's still one sword, and it does not like that you just did that. So it's gonna come in and try to get you.
Come on, I can take it.
18 to hit.
Oh, that hits exactly.
For 5 points of slashing damage and 3 points of radiant damage.
Okay, I reduce the slashing damage.
Cool. And it is hovering there. Makath, you're gonna be next.
And this one hasn't been injured at all? Alrighty, well, it's time for the old...
It has been injured by your Eldritch Blast.
Oh, okay.
You have done 2 points of damage to it.
Alright, well, I guess that means it's time to toll the dead. So, it needs to make a wisdom save.
Let's assume that it failed.
Okay. So that's 2d12 now, because I get those damage on my cantrips, for a total of 19 damage.
That's enough. Your bell bongs.
Yeah, I will just kind of slam my staff onto the ground, and it'll just hear that resonant sound. And it's in the way a sword hears. I'm not sure how, but...
So whenever you ring this bell, the sword just like, you see this like perfect like etch go down, and it sort of breaks into its rhombus pieces, and they all sort of like dissipate into this golden powder.
Nice.
there does not appear to be any other things damaging this room at the moment. And the
That's
pathway
interesting.
does continue in front of you.
Okay.
And and on the other side of this room, you can see that it's a little bit less like there's blood dribbling in, but there's definitely like drier flesh that you can walk across.
Drier flesh.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the dry.
I don't want to say land.
I know, but drier. Anyways, gross.
Cori is gonna kind of poke the one that she wrecked with her sword and be like, "These are celestial."
So you see a little bit of like gold dust like floating in the liquid.
What does this mean? She'll look back at the brains.
Gonna reach down, take a piece. Do I even have that yet? I do. That's gonna take a minute. Elle, if you give me a minute, I think I might be able to identify it.
That sounds fine to me.
Cori
Just as-
nods and
Let's get over to that
Stand.
drier flesh, though.
Gross.
That's the name of the episode, Dry Flesh.
Get some aloe vera or moisturizer on that dry flesh.
listen. I know that you're saying drier, as in like more dry,
I
but
think
I just
clothes
hearing
dryer.
drier as in like like a clothes dryer. So it's that drier flesh,
I'm sorry, I will refer to these as caves and hallways from now
No,
on.
it's
How you-
too late.
how you
Inside a heart.
turkey.
Inside a
It's
fucking heart.
fine.
No, it's
It's
too
fine.
late. Your drier flesh is already ingrained in us.
Gross.
So,
I mean, I didn't choose that this is where I commune with my patron, but it happened.
We will convene upon the flesh that is less wet than the rest.
that doesn't make
Great.
it sound any better at all.
No, it's
hate-
still gross.
So you're casting Identify.
I'm casting Identify as a ritual.
Okay.
Cori
So,
stance watch.
so you take 11 minutes.
11 exactly.
Because it's
10 minutes to cast as a ritual, 1 minute but for the original casting time.
Oh, interesting.
And you get the sense that this would have been considered a flying sword. One that would work autonomously. It appears to be made of this celestial metal that I'm sure Endor has a great name for.
Celestial.
Celestium.
Celestial. Celestial.
Either way is fine.
We should take an angel
I like
grinder to this
Celestium.
and make some.
Celestium sounds cool.
So,
That's how I name
it's
half the
made
shit
of
in this
some
game.
sort of celestial metal, and it's been enchanted to attack on intruder sight.
Why is there celestial metal inside Blake's heart?
So hedge magic can get weird. Just throwing that out
Oh,
there.
McCoth, this wasn't you, was it?
Look,
Cough.
I am. Who else but me? And she says, "Okay, so first rule of hedge magic is find the answer. Like do the thing
Why is there a knife?
that gets
It's
you.
a palette knife. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Do the thing that gets you to the end result that you want." Well, when I made the archangelic necklace, I thought to myself, okay, things kind of went tits up, and I wasn't planning for it, so I had to think of something fast, and I made a necklace that will help rebuke any kind of fiend that attempts to possess our friend.
But none of us are fiends trying to possess him.
Looks at McCoth slightly.
I'm not trying to possess him, we're friends. That's it. What do either of you two know about his patron, about who his patron is, about who his patron was?
A little from what I've researched and what he's told us.
Well, anything is going to be helpful in this situation because I know a little bit, but not a whole lot. Is his patron's a dragon, right?
Yeah.
You sound like you have reservations.
I don't know. Should we really be diving into the specifics of like
Yes!
Blake's
For the love of the
backstory
gods,
without him?
yes!
Absolutely.
Any stone left
That's
unturned.
why I designed this.
All
Any
right.
stone left
so,
unturned is a potential problem.
Do we know about the time that they've been spending together? That they've been having dreamy days?
He's been mentioning it to you.
Yeah.
Dream
A
dates?
couple of those you've been there for.
I've been there for a dream date.
Not like they're there, but like
Oh,
Danae
you
has.
haven't. Nobody has gone into his heart with him,
Right.
but you have been in the room whenever he has meditated.
so he's been
Right.
convening with his patron. They want to run a potion shop.
Oh, that's right. They do.
Okay, I have a man named Oliver on that. He should be... I was planning on telling Blake next time we spoke about it, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, see, it looks like you know more than I do.
Did Blake tell you he's a clone?
Yes.
Okay, cool. We need to touch base. What do you know versus what we know?
So what I know is... Well, like you said, he is a clone. He likes pumpkin bread. He likes rain smell. It's good. Interested in alchemy. Very nice. Working towards doing more with that. Dragon patron doesn't know who he is really. And that's all right. A lot of the last time we spoke was mostly me talking about my past on his request. Is there anything that might give reason for the Celestials to be upset? To be attacking his very heart?
I mean, with Tarlane trying to bust out.
Well, they normally don't care about a dragon. I mean, dragons few and far between, yes, but that wasn't on accordance with the Celestials. That was us, the people of the peoples of the realm.
MacArthur, roll an intelligence check.
That is a 16.
It was a long time ago, but you do remember Tarlayan, and you do remember the slightly fiendish aura about him being why you made the Archangelic necklace, specifically be able to ward off fiends.
Do we get the idea that these swords are they attacking the heart, or are they trying to protect the heart?
From the inside.
That would require an insight check.
Okay. Big money, no whammies.
It's a whammy.
It's a whammy. It's an 8.
You saw the sword try to attack you. You don't really know. They were also stuck in a wall.
All right, so this very well may have been my fault.
How do you mean?
So I've had a little bit more time to think about it. one of the reasons why we made the Archangelic necklace, not just because it was, let's say, available at the time, was Tarlean has fiend in him. If you are aware of that.
Oh, I'm aware.
Why didn't you say anything earlier when I was asking if there was anything about him specifically that you knew that I didn't?
Oh.
I thought you knew.
Well, look, we're both on the same page. April Fools.
I have a 0 for my insight, my dear.
April Fools to the both
I'm
of
a
us.
little hard on the uptake.
Take that inspiration, Corey.
Everybody gets inspiration.
Well,
So,
apparently this was how the necklace decided it would work. I was planning for outside sources.
but you
when I
didn't
was
account for
making-
inside.
No, not when I was making the charm.
But if the necklace wasn't here at all, then Tarlean would be free.
Potentially. It was meant as a way to hold him back. If worse came to worse. Which I see that it
it's
did.
not perfect, but it's accomplishing its purpose.
If you ever find yourself in my shop again, I can make modifications to it. Something that's not going to be this drastic, hopefully.
Well, we're gonna have to get Blake out of this alive first.
And we will also have to make it out of this alive. So, yay us. Teamwork and all
Yippee.
that.
Fuck. Okay, so what's the play?
Well, can't go back, I don't think. So just keep going forward. She'll look down the hall that stretches out in front of them.
And as you do, as you look at further down into the corridors of Blake's heart, it's about 9 o'clock.
Yes.
So that seems like a perfect place to stop and take a break.
Yeah, so we are going to go into our first break of the evening. Thank you, Cyberwolf, for running this. I'm very spooked and very excited to be able to play
Gosh darn it.
a more fleshed out NPC in my own world, but at the same time be like, I don't know what's happening. Will I have to rewrite
well.
stuff? This will be great.
Well, before we go to break, thank y'all for letting me open my heart to all of you.
Take a point of
this
inspiration.
fucking
Take
guy.
inspiration,
No, don't give the
Cyber.
DM inspiration. What are you doing?
And because he said that, I actually will take a point of inspiration to
Yeah,
later.
go for it.
Yeah!
It's your fault.
Go for it. So,
Good.
I want to say from all of us, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for letting us enjoy this April 1st episode with Cyberwolf as our DM. I'm having an absolutely wonderful time. So don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, possibly grab some merch from our merch store now that it all reflects the things that it says it does with proper branding and all of that. And with that in mind, we will see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. There, we did it. We are back. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor. God damn it.
But wait.
But
Forehead Chan! Notice me!
But wait.
no. There are so many.
Oh, the audio cast misses so much.
That's what you should watch live at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here at twitch.tv.
I could describe it, but we have like a backlog on YouTube. Just come and look at it.
Oh yeah.
It's a good time.
All of which now can be found at Indoor Adventures. Consistent branding is no joke.
Wow, people who are going back and watching the VODs are going to be so confused.
Oh,
Whenever I can't find the links.
The first VOD that we have up on our channel for a one-shot is like, check us out at Simple and Keen. And then LB is like, check me out at my old Twitter handle. Like, all of us have changed and grown over this last year, except for Cyberwolf, who stayed great. Except for you, who've stayed great with your consistent branding. Also,
like the corners of
Pullout King _ Thank you. I remember the other Pullout King. Also great.
Bless King.
Bless King. All right, so where were we?
Wait, did we get a sub or a follow or something?
We got a follow.
Do we need to bang something? I can bang something.
All right.
How about whenever we get a follow, I will pet my dog.
Yes! Do it! More people should follow. This is a good Cyberwolf to pet the dog. That's all I want.
I'm relinquishing pets from my dog until we get follows.
Until we get
You
follows.
monster.
Alrighty. Yeah. Lead us in.
So, you have just dispatched 3 of these celestial flying swords that are piercing the arteries of your friend's heart.
Ow.
And the way forward is open to you.
Well,
Was there any leftover metal bits in the last area, or
So as you destroy the swords, they sort of like crumbled into that, from like this platinum celestium to this gold dust that was just floating in this chamber of blood.
opens up his bag? pours
Radiant
it in?
pollen. This whole thing is just a metaphor for Blake having an allergic reaction.
You could say that. Blake doesn't do very well with feathers.
I cast EpiPen.
God.
Tasha's hideous antiseptic.
But as you make your way forward, what's everybody's passive perception?
Mine,
Passive.
I believe.
13, I believe.
16.
If mine is a solid 10.
The 16, Caelum, you would notice that, like, just around the corner, there's this sudden, like, I don't want to say flash of light, because it's more dark. There's just this this sort of like dark, barely noticeable, just like burst of flame. You can only see the outer edges of it, but it seems to be in a like little offshoot of this cavern. And as you just like think about like what else could be in this dude's heart, you hear a sudden continuation of combat. Like you hear the steel on steel clanks of somebody who just initiated combat.
You see Caelum bolt.
I follow him.
Like toward this thing.
Yeah, towards the sound.
Okay.
I'll follow.
So as you go and peek around the corner, you're seeing a larger room, like this pocket in this hallway, and there is just a sphere of darkness, and you all the while can hear this clanking, like someone is deep in the throes of combat. Makath, what you doing?
Well, at this point, we're enveloped by darkness, correct?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Like the room is enveloped in
Yeah.
darkness, but y'all are like out in the hallway, just like
Okay.
looking in.
I mean, you're always enveloped in darkness, but that has little to do with what's
That
happening to you right now.
is so rude, and you don't know anything about me. Such as my devil sight, which allows me to see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical, up to 120 feet.
Interesting.
I mean,
Interesting.
You're right. I don't know anything about you. Because I wasn't there for that one time when you took off your bandages and revealed that you weren't actually blind. You just had galaxy eyes.
Now,
That's true.
using your devil sight, as you peer into this magical darkness, like you see this like sort of like black fuzz around where you know that the darkness is. But you can see two more of these celestial swords fighting against what appears to be almost exactly what Caelum and Cori described to you. This larger winged draconic humanoid. But as this creature like turns and smacks down one of these swords, doing a lot of damage to it, there's not a lot left after this. You can see that the face is definitely different. This creature has like sort of like, you know how a lot of the dragonborns like have tentacle hair, or like
The
they have
tentacle
those
dreads, yeah.
growths. Well, these dreads are like tied up and back. They have like leather straps going down where you can see there were two knives that are currently unsheathed. And this person has little yellow spectacles on them. And as they continue striking down the sword, what you doing? They do not appear to have noticed you.
Can only Makoth see this?
Yes.
The blind woman looking into utter darkness will pat Cori on on the chest area and just, he's in trouble, we have to go and help, and will just run into the darkness and cast a I'll cast a Toll the Dead on a sword.
Okay. Let's say that this one was damaged and it rolled a 3.
Okay, sweet deal. So it is going to take a total of 3 on 2d12s. 3 damage.
Cool. It is still up.
Yeah, I'm going to rush in and I'll say, Blake, come towards the sound of my voice. Because Dragonborn can't see in the dark. I don't know what this new Dragonborn Blake is, but who knows? It might be fun too.
So this creature takes another strike on one of the swords and knocks it down. Does get a good look at you and sort of like tilt its head. And getting a good look, you know that this is not Blake.
Oh, fuck. Well, I have just...
Actually, roll an insight check or an arcana check. Both of them would be acceptable.
Either are going to be terrible. If it's an arcana, I get an 8.
With an 8? Okay. Oh, no. It's... I don't know. Maybe Blake has another special individual kept in his heart. You're not really sure. He hasn't really talked about it.
He doesn't talk
Divine
about
sense.
a lot of things. Deflect that guy.
I would very much like to divine sense this darkness.
Okay. Are you using a spell slot for this?
Nope, I get 4 divine senses a day.
Okay.
And it's just a standard action.
So
do I detect any evil in this cloud?
So specifically, what do you get from Divine Sense? Can you read the description one more time?
I'll read the whole thing. As an action, you can detect good and evil. Until the end of your next turn, you can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
Okay, that is not behind total cover. It's good to know. You don't get the sense of any celestials in the room, but you do get two blips on the celestial scale.
Okay.
there's definitely a fiend in this room.
Great. Awesome.
And this area is affected by a hollow spell.
Cori gets out her sword. There's a hollow spell?
Yes.
In here? Okay.
Like
Cori
something that is in this room that is probably obscured by the magical darkness right now has been hollowed.
Cori draws her sword, and we're not in initiative right now, so stop me at any moment that I'm doing too many things. But Cori draws her sword, and she's going to use a charge from it to make it expend moonlight and dispel any magically created darkness.
All right. The darkness dissipates. You now see a one of these.
And is that where my fiendly fiend
Absolutely
is coming from? That's not Blake. And I will face step to him and attack.
Okay. All right. Make your attack.
First of all, I'm in my moon form, so he needs to make a saving throw of some sort. Mr. Sir, Indoor, what saving throw is it for the Moonbane situation?
In the Moonbane notes, it's the same as
It's
the
in my
Bane
notes as
spell.
well.
It's a charisma save.
All right. Charisma.
Charisma save. Okay. That's a 20. Natural.
Oh, I see.
He's
Okay.
fine.
So I roll an 11 on the die, which gives me 18 to hit.
An 18 will hit.
Okay, cool. Well, fuck, this had better be who I think it is, or else I'm going to be very embarrassed about all of the smite damage I'm about to drop on this motherfucker. Here comes the damage. All right, 12 slashing damage.
Okay.
Second level smite. I dropped a die. 11 radiant damage.
Cool.
Does this hurt him a lot? How does he like radiant damage?
What's this a magical attack? The sword is magical, right?
The sword is in fact magic, yes.
Cool. Good. I don't have to recalculate that. It doesn't seem like the radiant damage hurt him any more than more than it typically would.
A normal person. Okay. Attack number 2. Here it comes.
Cori, that kills people.
This is the intention.
But why?
16?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yep.
Restart the mission. Essential NPC has died.
I feel like there's going to be a Shakespearean twist here. 11 slashing damage.
11 slashing damage. Cool.
And I'm going to do a first level smite.
Can you do multiple smites per turn? Yeah, because you expend spell slots.
It's just, yeah. It's per
There's
attack.
economy there.
There is economy there. You just need to get me into a fight that lasts long enough for me to use them all.
Yep.
9 radiant damage.
9 points of radiant damage. Okay. So my guy's going to last more than one round, which might be good. That's not how math works. Okay.
Whoa, Navi.
I guess we're rolling for initiative now.
Okay, Mom.
It's not a bad idea.
I had to get a lot of D6s.
Oh, natural 20.
Shit.
Plus.
+1.
I got a modified 20.
I got a
duty.
I got a 6.
Hey guys, remember that one time when I went into Blake's heart and murdered him in cold blood?
Yeah, it was cool.
I'm never leaving my winter form ever again.
+3. Okay. And Caelum, you got a 6.
Yes, I'm.
All right. Well, one of these celestial swords is going to try to attack Newell because that's what they were here for.
No what?
That one will miss. Cori, it's now your turn again.
Oh, good. All right. I cast Divine Favor on myself.
Okay. What's that do?
It adds damage to each of my attacks. I
Great.
have concentration going, so remind me to roll a concentration for that.
Oh, I'm sure I won't have to.
God, I'm so sorry. If it makes you feel any better, I'm running out of slots. God, 19.
19. Yep, that'll hit.
Okay. Slashing damage. Here it come.
Y'all remember late critical roll with Anothic and Liam O'Brien? Because that's what I'm thinking of. I'm not salty at all. Go ahead.
12 slashing damage. How does he feel after that? Is he okay?
Like on a scale from 58, 1 to 58, at like a 3.
Okay.
They're
Cool.
at like a 3. Sorry.
Okay, well, I just rolled a 3 on my Divine Favor, so.
How did you do this?
Well, okay, so Coriander says that's not Tarlean.
That's not Tarlean, or that's not Arjan.
Or that's not Blake. That's not Blake. She's thinking it's Tarlean. She says that's not Blake. She appears over by him, and then it's just like a whirlwind of sword, and flashes of radiant light. Like it's like a fucking anime. She's just like sword, flash, and then boom, it's done.
Okay, make an insight check.
Great. 15.
15. Okay. So as you impale this Abishai into the ground of Blake's heart, it's like, wait, I didn't think Tarlean had dreads or wore glasses. And it just like it's sort of like end of the Harry Potter movies. Spoilers. The ribbon effect as it just flies away. There's still 2 celestial swords in this room. Both of them look really hurt. Makath, what you doing?
Man, last time there were celestial sources in the room, they attacked us. So Eldritch Blast on the first one.
Go ahead.
That is a 25 to hit.
25 to hit. Awesome. Roll for damage.
For that Eldritch Blast, that's a 9.
9? That's
Yeah.
enough to do it.
Alrighty. Then the second one, I'll use my other Eldritch Blast. That's a crit.
Crit.
So I hope that hits. Otherwise,
Yep.
This game is broke. Holy shit. That's going to be 16 points of damage.
That was enough. That was one less than you would need to do to kill it at full health. So, all right, you are.
Pachow, pachow.
You're done with that encounter.
Caleb just like, okay.
So as it's only been like half a second as the like darkness dissipated, because rounds of combat last 6 seconds. And what you see is, well, y'all remember Blake's tattoos, right? They sort of look like this,
Yeah.
which you can buy in the merch store right now.
bit.ly/indoor merch.
There's there's essentially like stone structures peeking out of the flesh of Blake's heart. All dusted. Like there's definitely like bits of flesh and dust caking the top of them. But it's a statue with that with a stone like dais on top of it, just like a platform with that same symbol that Blake had on his back carved into it. And this is where Cori had impaled this devil. And honestly, all that's left right there is a silver chain with a coin on it. That's all that is left of this creature.
Cori will bend down and pick that up.
Okay.
And then she will kind of like flip her hair out of her face and be like, that wasn't Tarlean. What did I just kill?
Those learned can make an Arcana check using whatever their spellcasting bonus is.
Yes.
Okay. Hold on.
That's
On
a
top
hard
of my
question.
Arcana bonus, or
So like in D&D, you don't have to like say you have to make an intelligence Arcana check. You can make that with something else if the DM prompts you.
But
So
for Caelum, it's
essentially,
hard because he
Caelum,
has
I would ask
two
you to make an
spellcasters.
Arcana check using Wisdom as your modifier, if that's higher than your intelligence.
No.
Oh,
I got a
then, yes.
26.
16.
Caelum would probably be the only one to know this, and this is what is called an Abishai. They are devils, specifically from the first layer of hell, Avernus, that are in service to Tiamat.
I'll relay this information. Yeah.
Oh, good. I was going to get a lot of crap from Blake about, killing first and asking questions later. Anyway,
No, you're wrong, because if that was Blake and you killed first and asked later, well, you wouldn't get shit at all.
I knew it wasn't Blake. It just might have been literally anyone else.
I'm just walking up the
nods.
days.
Just-
What was that, Endor? You cut out.
No, Makoth just nods like hindsight. Probably should have seen and checked if it was Blake before calling out.
I really did think it was Tarlean.
I don't know if you were supposed to pick up that coin.
She's still holding it.
Make an intelligence check of some sort. It could be nature. It could be history.
Oh.
Whatever do you happen to be?
I'll do it
Trained
with history. It's a 16.
16?
Yeah.
The chain is definitely silver. Coin, it's not.
Oh.
This is not... The coin is made of... It's definitely not a mint of anything that you're used to. There's no design that you're familiar with. There appear to be draconic runes on it, though not of a name that you're familiar with, or really any language that you're familiar with. This seems to be very archaic. The metal is adamantine.
Oh, good.
Caelum, your passive perception is the highest.
Tis.
In the mouth of one of these dragon statues, specifically the one on the far right, there appears to be a crystal.
Ooh.
One that, like the rest of this, has this sort of residue on it. It's like heart dust. It seems to have been left here a long time and forgotten.
Crystals are important. Yeah. Caelum walks up to it. head tilted to the side.
Nothing but the
look,
lamp.
it looks very similar to the memories that you and Cori have summoned.
Reaches a hand out and touches it.
Okay. So you sort of like pry it out of this dragon's mouth.
With a
Yeah. And as you peek in it, you're not like transporting into the memory or anything.
no, I can do that.
No.
No.
Not here. You can't.
I don't know.
This is sort of just like a third person view. You see a few figures in purple robes standing over a newborn black dragon humanoid that seems to have been freshly ritual scarred, almost as if it looked like this art that I just posted in chat. It is silent. The figures are not moving. This is all you see. There's all this newborn baby is also holding a very cute, very doofy plushie of a 5-headed dragon.
Uh-oh. Huh. Gemery.
What?
I can only give one inspiration at a time.
I'll show.
We have to actually remember we have those now. You watch. We're not used to it. We'll sit on these for the rest of the campaign. We'll be all like, if only I had a reroll.
I mean, I don't know if Indoor wants to keep these whenever the session's over.
No, you put them into the world. They're there now. If they hang on to them, I can't stop it. I can't take them away. That's the player's
That also
job.
means that anyone who dies during this stays dead. I distract. I distract from the point.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have some nice Danae Keener art in the chat that you also have in this crystal sphere.
Gonna show Cori and McCoth.
And McCoth just looks at you, this blindfold over her eyes. I don't know what that is.
It's we've handled these before. They're crystallized memories.
Well, that's certainly new. And she just gets a quick grin across her face, and then it's kind of like stifled back, and just... And what does that exactly entail? Is it gone from whoever took it, or who?
Well,
Or what?
I don't
makes the
know.
rules for this.
Whoever's
know.
memory this is, they no longer have it. It's just going to be a blank.
Sounds about right.
Well, how do we return it then?
Well, if this is some form of Blake's headspace, heart space, it should be okay here. If we leave it here, if we take it outside of this area, then who knows?
This is a lot.
Yeah.
This is a lot to process.
Caelum walks back over to the dragon head and puts the gem back in.
Okay. You sort of force it back in.
Mhm.
The room is... I don't want to say silent because there is the still very rapid thrumming of Blake's heart. A bit more rapid than that
What do we do?
because it is currently being attacked.
Maybe we should have taken it.
It's not our memory to take.
Cori will just look away.
Makoph will go over.
What is this smile?
She's gonna take it.
Ah!
Okay.
And Caelum, do you look at her doing this?
Passive perception 16. So
yeah.
you need to make a sleight of hand check.
Oh, I'm not even going to try, to be honest.
Not being stealthy
No,
about it.
I'm not
She's
being
just doing
stealthy.
it.
I'm gonna go over and grab it, and I'll
The tip of the
say-
Gulthias staff like just taps your wrist.
Oh, dag.
And her head turns towards you and says, "If this is all his dream, it doesn't matter where it goes. It's going to be here regardless. I can't take this out of the dreaming. Whatever's
You'd
in
be
here will
surprised.
only stay."
There are ways. It's happened before.
Do
What's the
tell. And
expression?
she just looks at you with, again, just that tiefling grin creeping in on her
You know,
face.
if my friend wasn't dying, I would explain everything, but right now he is, so...
So what you're saying is that I should visit you in a dream, and then you can tell me.
Caelum audibly laughs. And it's sort of like this melancholy laugh. Yeah, good luck with that. And he walks away.
Fuck.
She'll just kind of like tilt her head, grab the crystal because you walked away, put it into her bag, and then just follow.
Okay. So you make your way back out of this this hallowed room, and start making your way further down the hall. And once again, the door opens. The room opens, but you can also see that the floor is like sort of going down, and this cavern is flooded.
Gross.
Doesn't have to be.
But it
It
is.
is. Yeah, no, I get it.
Do you want to spend your inspiration?
That,
It's not flooded.
not fate.
That's how it works, right?
It's not fate. We can't make the game changes with this.
And there are waterfalls coming down into this room that seem to keep this water level stable. Seems to be the only way forward is down.
I really don't. I look to the two.
Cori rolls her eyes, and which is hard to do when you're an Eldrin because it's just Slara. She's gonna, yeah. She just goes down in there.
Okay.
Slosh, slosh, slosh.
So is everybody going in?
Yeah.
Okay. This is going to be a skill challenge.
Oh!
This is hot, sticky blood that
This
you're swimming in.
You got some fucking 4E shit in here.
I do.
Holy carp!
April Fools is 4th edition.
Oh!
No. Is there any sort of skill, any sort of actions that you would like to take to try to make your way through this chamber?
Athletics to swim.
Absolutely. Please make your athletics check,
I am a good swimmer.
and to help everybody else.
It's a good thing I've got a positive strength.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Go ahead. That's what it's there for.
Okay, I do that. All right, that's much better. 19.
19. Okay. So you are a swole paladin, Eladrin paladin.
That's me.
So you are able to just like go in full heavy armor, which probably means you should do this at disadvantage, but I'm not going to say that right now after you already rolled. And you're able to make your way forward. So athletics has been used. Is there anything else that either of you would like to contribute to this?
Caelum learned to swim.
Caelum learned to swim. He can swim.
Caelum did learn to swim.
He used his dream library to learn to swim.
I think I can use perception to find air pockets.
Sure. Make a perception check.
That's okay. That's not bad. That's a 17.
A 17? Okay, so you don't really notice any air pockets, but that seems to be okay because this is a dream. And I don't know, anytime that I dream that I'm drowning, I sort of like realize that, like, oh, wait a minute, I can breathe. This is all right. I'll be fine. But what you do
you just hear the sonic drowning music, and then you're fine.
Exactly. It just starts to give away. What you do see is that there is something swimming in the water. Blood. But you see it, which means you and your party are going to be able to stay away from it, which I will mark as a success. You see a black version of one of these. It's like a draconic dog, but one that can swim really well.
Yeah.
Blake, we're going to have to talk about you seeing a doctor at some point. There's some things in here that I don't think are...
died. Okay. There's a lot of shit happening. I did die, actually.
He did.
But you do see this black guard drake swimming, this antibody within Blake's blood, and you're able to swim away from it.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Don't
I already have bad feelings about this.
Don't say uh-oh. I'm sure it'll be fine. Caelum. So when I have been in situations like this before, I have been able to exert my will over the dream and allow it to be of my own machinations. I'm not the best right now. I'll be the first to admit that. I'm operating at about half capacity. But if you were to help me, we could potentially shape the dreaming together. We wouldn't have to swim. We could just move the ground beneath us. Move the area around us through here. We wouldn't have to swim. We would just have to think. I'm a much better thinker than I am a swimmer.
Right. What do you need done?
I don't know. That would be up to the dungeon master. She looks towards the sky.
Well, during one of the dreams, Blake did break the fourth wall, so you can definitely see beyond the veil for that little bit.
The blind woman will look past the fourth wall.
What was the question?
Would we be able to manipulate the dreaming in such a way that rather than having to swim through this, we could move the land, like a small area around us together, not me by myself, because I cannot right now because powers. You could certainly try. This is definitely something that you could try. This is not your dream space. No, it's not. It is going to be rough.
And this is actually a dream space that is under attack right now.
Good.
Goody.
She's still going to try.
If you would like to try, this is going to be a wisdom check with no proficiency modifier or anything at disadvantage.
Fucker. Okay.
as you try to enforce your will upon this. That said, that is not how you. That doesn't have to be how you contribute to the skill challenge. And you do have 2 successes right now.
Well, the only things I'm really good at are Arcana, History, Investigation, and Religion. So, none of those really seem like they would help a whole lot, except maybe Investigation. Could I... Since I am immune to dark vision / magical dark vision up to 120 feet, would I be able to use my Arcana check, possibly, to learn more about the creature that's swimming around?
I mean, you could, but I'm sort of seeing that the like Drake is already something that you like surpassed as part of the skill challenge.
No, you're right. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and dream it. Dream big with Caelum.
All right, make a wisdom check with disadvantage.
Yeah. Okay, so that's either a 10 or a 9. Could I inspiration the lower of the rolls? Huh?
For both of them, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sure, why not? That's how you had double inspiration anyway because of the fourth wall break.
Okay.
You cannot have double inspiration.
So that's a 14.
14. Okay. I will say that is neither a success nor a failure. As you do sort of like warble the dreamscape a little bit, you can see the blood is getting just a little bit thinner. You're not sure if that's an active effect that you have pressed on this, or if that's just something that was naturally happening and you should be concerned about it. But the 3 of you continue swimming across this cavern and sort of emerge in this grotto at the end. You're not covered in blood because this is a dream and those effects quickly pass. And you're all able to catch your dream breath as you sit here. The way forward is once again open to you. Good job, guys.
Gross. That was cool.
Huh.
All right. Well, I just like brushing away some of the blood that's still on me. I wasn't exactly expecting to do that tonight, but well, this has been rather enjoyable.
Cori squeezes out her hair and flips it back.
Hits Caelum in the face. Oh.
Yeah. Whack.
Right, what you
How are
doing?
we all doing?
Fine.
Does anybody need to rest?
I'm still good.
All right.
I would say a short rest would be fine for me.
I mean, I would like to recharge my face step if at all possible, but
It does not seem that anything is currently in this grotto to attack you.
all right.
I would be down for a short rest.
Oh yeah, you're a fucking warlock.
Yes. I haven't used my big like Shazam spells, but like some hit die is appreciated.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. Let's have a short rest.
Sure.
I will spend a hit die.
Oh shit, I get to actually use this feature?
Oh, your
What
arcane
does your
recovery.
feature?
Yeah, right? Like,
What's your feature do for me?
my feature is once per day, when I finish a short rest, I can choose expended spell slots to recover up to a combined level of 1. So I can recharge that bless that I just used.
All right.
Hashtag bless.
Please.
Mikala is going to recover. I need to use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Ooh, nice. I'm back up to max.
You know, with all this dream diving, I didn't think this would be like a common occurrence or a problem, but it's certainly turning into one.
You're not really sure
Wait.
how.
Are we diving in dreams a lot?
I mean, y'all have been going into each other's streams a lot, and now you've gone through two.
I thought he meant like being underwater in dreams, and I'm all like, "This is the first time this has happened, you silly goose." No, okay.
Oh,
yeah,
literally. Mm.
Mm,
It's the first time. It's the first time you've gone into somebody's dream who wasn't an elf.
Yeah.
that's true.
You're not sure how that happened.
I didn't even know that we could do this.
It's typically not something you can do. Thank you so much for the raid open for adventure.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hello. I assumed Gwen was helping us with her flute.
Possibly.
Possibly.
I am back.
But
Possibly.
But then why would it put you in Makath's stream?
yeah, that's
Anyway.
weird.
I mean, it didn't work at first.
Well, maybe it has something to do with like. Hi, Makath. Sorry, thinking.
It's all right.
We could probably talk about it in our after show, Nights in the Courtyard, that if you are a patron to Indoor Adventure on Patreon, you would have access to.
And that one's still the Indoor Adventurer. We can change that soon.
We're still going through the rebranding.
Still going through the rebrand. It was a lot.
Perhaps this was all some sort of weird coincidence where all three of us tried to get in at the same time and somehow we got a foot in the door, and otherwise we wouldn't have been able to do it. I don't know.
I'm just gonna peg this one on further experimentation required.
This was my second attempt this evening.
We tried twice as well. And Caelum got backhanded.
That hurt a little.
Well,
There is a path forward through this artery, and as the way continues, you do see that there is a very big like column of this platinum metal that sort of like squeezes into the hallway, as if like the width of the hallway just like sort of to make room for this platinum thing.
Does this maybe have to like sidle against the wall to get past it?
Get around it.
Yeah, that's probably why nothing was able to interfere with your rest.
Well, that's the conversation we have during our rest. And then we stand up and get ready to move forward.
Okay.
Only way to go is forward.
So you continue your way forward until the path opens once again. It sort of forks off, but you see that down one of these forks is another hallway that's completely blocked off by one of these platinum pieces. It seems as if the assault has been ramping up.
And it's completely blocked off.
Yeah, that way forward is completely blocked off, but you keep going the other way until this room opens into a much larger room than you've been in before, and you can see that there are like tendons that reach from the ground all the way up to the ceiling. Places where, I don't know, you may be able to take cover if this so happens to be a fight. You can see that there are puddles of blood on the floor. And on the very far wall, as you continue walking into this room, you all see a familiar form. More familiar to two of you than one of you. This appears to be a 10-foot tall winged draconic humanoid, though a lot less muscular than you've seen before. Just absolutely pinned against the wall, the membrane. It's facing against the wall, just absolutely impaled. You see a few more swords, celestial swords in the room. And there's a figure standing before you. He's about, in the dream, like 12 feet tall. Standing proud in azure armor. One wing spread out behind him. Two other wings behind him that appear to be like, one of them appears to be like broken, but still like manageable. One of them completely like broken off. And do y'all continue stepping into the room?
Yes.
As soon as I see anything in this room, I'm going to divine sense it.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there only one creature in here? Is there two?
Technically there are 7.
Oh, shit.
Besides you.
I see.
There are 4 swords that all give off a little bit of celestial. There is the emaciated Tarlean Blake that's pinned up against the wall. None of the things that are pinning into him seem to be a creature. And this 12-foot tall semi-angelic figure that is giving off both celestial and undead.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
What happened here?
McCall, what have you done?
And as you use this feature, this figure turns around, and you can see that where its helmet is broken off, underneath is like bits of red skin, and then just a skull.
Oh my god.
I need to get my dice.
This is so badass. I'm terrified.
Greetings, summoner. He seems to be looking into the direction of Makoth. It is good to see you again. As you can see, I have defended this body against the fiendish incursion. It is dangerous in here, and I am not sure I can protect you. Please, go back.
And Makoth is doing what I'm doing right now, which is 2 hands in front of the face, over the mouth, just... Oh, no.
Cori turns with like the widest eyes. What have you done?
And she looks over at you, Cori, and she'll pull down her blindfold so that way you can see the like galaxy eyes that she has, and she looks at you, and in a look of like borderline terror, but also the anticipation and exhilaration of the unknown, you see a smile crack on her face, and she just says, "Well, I did the same thing I always do. I did my best." And she just continues to have this smile grow wider and wider across her face.
You're mad.
Possibly.
Please, stand back while I continue defending this body.
And she is going to extend her hand out towards this creature and attempt to cast Crown of Madness at 3rd level.
All right. And as you do this, I need all of you to roll for initiative. That's a wisdom save, right? Indoor?
Yes.
Oh, shiza.
Will a 22 save on that?
Yeah! Yeah, 22 saves. Oh, fuck. This is great.
We're dead.
Did anybody roll higher than a 20?
I did.
Mhm.
I rolled a 21.
21. Cool.
I haven't rolled yet.
Great.
I did not.
Okay. Did anybody roll higher than 15?
16.
16. Cool. Cori, what'd you get?
I got a 5.
5. Cool. So you'll once again be bringing up the rear.
That's
All right.
me.
All right. So Makoth, you've cast this spell and it has not taken hold.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Good.
If you do not back up, I will have to force you out. Please get back.
If only I could, dearie. And she points her staff and taps it a couple times on the ground, and each time she does, I want to say that the staff itself takes on a different form. Like, it's originally just this gnarled oaken staff, but she taps it, and you see that there is, like, a dream catcher that's hanging from the side. She taps it again, and you see that it has a bunch of leather wraps around it. She taps it again. It's covered in these red cords. She taps it again. And on that third time, there's a gourd that is hanging from the end, and she just begins shaking it. And she is going to attempt to cast Infestation on this archangel as she summons a swarm of bees from her gourd. And so the creature will need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Hello, bees. Okay. So that's a +8 modifier on this. It rolled a 3, so that's 11.
Oh, thank God! That's so many! Yeah, it's infested. So my bees find a perfect solution to this problem. So it needs to roll a d4 to see what direction it runs in now that it is being swarmed by bees.
4.
Okay, so 4 is to the west of where it currently is, and it is going to take 7 damage from my unholy stingers.
What kind of damage?
It is going to be poison damage.
Okay. This creature would appear to be immune to poison damage.
Well,
It moves.
It still
It
has
does
to
move.
move. And at that, Makoth, the smile on her face, that smile of worry that she had when she told Cori that she was doing her best when this happened, is a full-fledged, just shit-eating grin on her face. Just... That's terrifying.
Okay, it's one of the sword's turn, and it's going to try to fly over to you, but doesn't have quite enough range.
Good.
Caelum.
Cool. So, I did some pre-rolling.
Great.
Guiding bolt, natural 20.
Every
Okay.
time.
I believe you.
My boy.
I had to roll 12d6 for 40 points of radiant damage
Okay.
on the big one.
Okay. 40 points of radiant damage.
Yeah.
It does not look like all of it has taken hold, but it does take radiant damage.
Advantage. Hit it.
So,
Oh dear. Oh dear. My camera fell.
all right. It is now Micah's turn.
Oh, Micus.
I
My
can be
boy.
brown. I can be green. I can be. Oh, wait, that's a Micah.
Hey, Micus, you're so
Micus.
pretty. You don't understand.
Uh,
You took over the heart. And she'll make your final stand. Ah!
Makoth, please make a wisdom save.
Oh, I mean, she really doesn't have to. I'm sure it'll
It's
be fine.
Angels like
either
you,
way.
Micah.
Okay. That's not as bad as it could be. You know, we just have to look at what this... That's a 15.
15? Okay, that does not beat its spell save DC.
Well, piss.
Please get back. As it casts command on you. Your command was to get back. It does not appear that it has the mental capacity to give you much more direction than that.
Makoth will bow and graciously accept this agreeable term.
Another one of the swords is going to go after you, Cori, but does not have range. One more will follow up on that, and one sword is going after you, Makoth. None of them have range.
Good.
Cori.
Okay. I have one spell slot each left.
Goody.
The question is, what am I going to do with this? All right, so I'm getting, just to recap, I'm getting celestial and undead from the angel. What am I getting from the dragonborn looking thing pinned to the wall?
Fiend.
For sure.
Yep.
Okay.
But you do recognize the markings of Blake.
Okay. So it looks like Blake, but I'm getting Fiend off of him.
Yes.
Okay.
More pronounced than you typically get off of him.
Okay. That's what I wanted. All right. So in that case, I will. All right, I'm going to cast Protection from Evil and Good on myself.
Okay.
Can I cast this at 2nd level? I can. How many people does that allow me to do? How do?
It might just be
it's
you.
not...
If it doesn't say at higher levels at the bottom, then there's no benefit.
Okay. All right. Well, I will cast Protection from Evil and Good on myself. And that's an action. So then I'm going to stand ready to attack those bad boy swords. I'm gonna get out in front to try and like show myself as like a target. So what this looks like is I put my hands like on my chest like this, and I start glowing a little bit. And then I walk forward, beating my sword against my shield. Come at me!
All right. Make a charisma roll.
Ooh. I'm good at that. I'm a paladin.
Possibly
I rolled a 5.
Possibly a persuasion?
Persuasion. Well, that makes it an 11.
Cool. That's good enough.
I'm getting rid of this dice.
There's not a lot of mental faculty left in this creature. Okay. But it is now Makoth's turn once more as we ascend back to the top of the round.
Oh boy. Well, I have to spend my turn following the command and getting back, right?
You will need to use your movement to go back at least 5 feet.
Okay.
And then the command will wear off.
I will go back a total of 15 just as a whole. Has this guy moved?
Yes, this person has moved to the west. He looks like he is pressing up against the membrane as he is surrounded by bees that are not doing a lot of damage to him.
Okay, well...
You would be at about, like, 90 feet away.
Okay. So...
Possibly more or less.
What I am going to do is that I am going to... My eyes, my galaxy eyes will start like having these like Vantablack vapors spilling off of it as I extend my staff out and begin uttering in a abyssal tongue / like deep speech. And when I plant my staff on the ground, a 20-foot radius sphere around, like, from underneath this creature where it is going to open up as I cast Hunger of Hadar.
Okay. What does he need to do?
So, A void is filled with a cacophony of soft whispers and slurping noises. Yes! So,
So eager. He was so ready to provide.
He did the slurp. We are very
Any
sorry for the
creature-
ASMR audiocast listeners.
so it needs to make a dex save.
A dexterity saving throw.
Yes.
He's undead. I'll make him do that at disadvantage. 18.
That's a success. But milky, otherworldly tentacles are currently rubbing up against him. Just
It's the hentai spell.
Just like,
cool.
yeah, it's just they're giving like gentle presses against his bod because like they can't wrap around or do much, but like it'd being gross.
What will he need to do on his following
So
turns?
at the start of its turn needs to make a dex save, and then if it ends its turn while still in the area, also needs to make a dex save.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good to know. A sword is gonna make an attack against Caelum, because the first one was going against Caelum. Will a 15 hit?
Exactly.
Okay. It's gonna do 11 points of slashing damage and 2 points of radiant damage.
Oh. Oh. That's not nice.
It's now your turn.
Caelum's gonna two-hand the Gulthias staff. That's gonna... Sorry, 1 second. That gonna roll against the sword.
Roll against the sword.
Will a 14 hit?
14 will not hit, unfortunately.
Uh-oh. Do I reroll here?
You could
Live your best life.
Yeah, I'm rerolling.
Okay. Are you blessed?
No, I'm not. I haven't blessed. Will a 17 hit?
A 17 will just hit.
Yay!
So flying swords do have an armor class of 17.
9 points of damage.
Okay. That is enough to get this one off.
Oh, I'm gonna expend a charge.
I mean, remove this one from the combat.
Expending a charge from the Gulthias staff.
To do what? Oh, was that part of the attack?
Yeah, it's part of the attack. It's so that I can get back HP.
Okay.
I'll get back to y'all while I roll this D100.
Okay.
It is now Mike's turn.
What number, Caelum?
I've got it.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like that one bit. I don't like Justice playing around with this Gulthias staff whilst Indoor flips through a book whilst Cyber gets ready to attack me. I feel very outnumbered.
Hunger of Hadar, whenever
Creature starts its turn there.
whenever he succeeds.
Oh, he succeeds. So
Holy shit.
in the hunger, so must succeed or take. It doesn't say that it takes half, so it's fine.
Okay. So he's going to move outside of this black void and sort of get closer to the center of the room where he can see everybody. And he is going to... He's going to look at Cori and cast command and say, "Come here."
Cool. I have advantage against this because of my spell.
Make your save.
What's the save? What is it? Charisma, wisdom, what?
18.
But what am I using to say?
Charisma.
Oh my! Oh, that's very
Wait,
interesting.
Sorry, wisdom.
You guys want to see what I got?
I see a black void, and you've also moved the cameras.
You moved the cameras!
No, my Roomba ate my camera. Okay.
Your Roomba ate your
a
camera?
natural 20 and a natural 1.
Oh,
Oh, and now it's not coming back.
oh no.
Oh no!
So it looks like Cori has been enveloped in black milky tentacles. White milky tentacles in a black
Oh god,
void.
no.
But you succeed, and you are not forced to follow the command. Hello, welcome back.
Welcome back.
You're not forced to follow the command, and that is its action. It's now a sword's turn. One of the swords is going after you, Cori.
All right, disadvantage because spell.
Will a 6 hit?
No.
Didn't think so. The second sword that was coming up to you will also try to attack. Also at disadvantage?
Yep. Protection from evil in good gives me protection against aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead.
These are not technically celestials, but I'll allow it.
Come on, man.
They
turn to gold dust when they die.
They're considered constructs.
Oh.
But I'm allowing it. Because I've realized that maybe using a solar as a template for this, not the best idea.
I guess we'll find out.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
A 10 will not hit you.
Nope.
Okay, one of the swords going to go after Makoth. Who else has your protection from evil?
Just me.
Just you. Okay.
Unfortunately.
Makoth, a 10 will not hit you, will it?
No.
Okay.
Surprisingly.
It's now Cori's turn.
Alrighty. There are 2 swords.
Nobody has tried to hit Micus.
Nope.
I blasted him earlier.
Well,
Right,
I mean...
right, like since the guiding bolt.
Oh, no. I've been keeping track. No one has
Oh,
tried
we're keeping track of the guiding bolt. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought this was like a... Oh, he's gonna...
to disappear.
Or murder us.
Actually, so forgive me. Before the end of one of the sword's turn, he is going to use a legendary action to teleport in front of you, Cori.
Oh, nice. Hello.
Hello. Hello. What's he doing? Please get back.
No. Is it my turn now?
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Okay, I will attack this. I'm gonna try and pick off some of these
There
swords.
are 2 swords and a Micus in front of you.
Is there a damaged sword next to me?
Yes.
Okay, I attack the damaged one first.
Okay. Technically, they've all been a little bit damaged.
18.
18, that'll hit.
Okay. Okay. Ooh, 8 slashing damage.
8 slashing damage. Okay.
Mhm.
You hit it. It seems to be a decisive enough blow to get rid of it.
Okay, I go for the other sword then.
Okay.
Ooh, nice. I'm having a real good day today, you guys. 24.
24. Yeah, that will beat its armor class of 17.
Slashing damage. 1. Okay, remember when I said... No, actually, hold on. I completely forgot about... God damn it.
Your second attack?
I'm supposed to add stuff to it.
Okay.
Okay, so it's 1 plus 7, so 8 slashing damage.
8 slashing damage. Okay. What type was the added damage?
Slashing.
Okay.
It's just slashing. That's
Okay,
supposed to be my
that's
my
enough to
strength
do this one in
modifier
as
and
well.
stuff. That's enough to kill him as well.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so I just clang, clang, take out both swords, and then I turn around. What?
And it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Makoth.
Oh.
As Cori's turn ends, it's going to turn its head back at you without moving its body. It'll just move its head. Oh no, it can't do that. Never mind. Continue. I needed 3 actions to do that.
Oh, I'm so glad. I am going to cast Toll the Dead.
Toll the Dead.
I will cast Toll the Dead at this creature. So it needs
There
to
is a
make-
sword on you.
I'll cast it towards the sword.
Okay, it has been damaged.
Okay, cool. So it needs to make a wisdom save.
Natural 20.
That's a load of horse shit. I do nothing. And I will I'm gonna just yell out at Micus, just, it's fine. None of this needs to happen. Just don't worry about it. And I have, again, just huge grin on my face while I'm saying it.
All right. Caelum. There is 1 sword on you.
Caelum,
that's
what'd you
nice.
roll?
So you see the didn't I kill that sword with the Goliath staff?
Oh, sorry. That sword is on Makoth. Never mind.
Yeah. You see vines come out of the sword, come out of the staff, grab the sword and pull it into the staff, and then more vines shoot into Caelum's neck. And then you
Ooh.
just hear him go, guys, thump. Falls over unconscious for the next 5 minutes.
Oh no!
All right.
Got the short-term madness.
That's great. It's Micah's turn.
The only way that would happen if I rolled under a 6, and guess what I rolled? Under a 6.
Cori, Micah's is going to make a great sword attack on you.
Please do. With disadvantage. Is he undead or celestial or both?
He's both.
Great. I have protection from both of those things.
Okay, he rolled 17s on both of these, so will 34 hit. 32
Holy
hit, sorry.
Yes.
Oh, this is a bad time for me to be out.
Sure would.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy.
Gonna eat some raw chicken and get some salmonella. Oh, boy.
It's fine.
Cori, how many hit points do you have?
I have 39 hit points, my friend, and I can resist 3 of physical damage.
So this is going to be 16 points.
Oh, I'm fine. That's fine. I do need to roll a concentration check in order to keep my spell going, my protection spell. Okay. So I'm gonna hold on. 16 damage.
Yes.
So you say
Okay,
16
reduced
slashing.
to 13.
What else is there? It's
That's his first attack.
He only gets 1.
Oh, okay. So I got exactly 10 for my concentration save. Does that work?
No?
No?
You would need to succeed against half of the damage, right? Or
What's
10.
that?
You would need to
Half
get
or
half
10,
the
whatever's
damage or
higher.
10, whichever's higher. 10 was higher, so you just made 10.
Yep. Cool. I'm fine. How are you, Caelum?
Unconscious.
Unconscious. If this was a movie, Caelum was on his phone right now, like sitting on one of the things with like Caelum on the back. It's like, I'm not in this scene.
Macaw, it's a sword. It got
Got a
6.
dummy made of duct
A
tape.
6 does not hit against me.
Okay. Can you make a Constitution saving throw, please?
I mean, I suppose I could. I don't know why you would ask. Okay, so making a Constitution saving throw. Is that like 13 makes it?
Macaw,
Yep.
you are blinded by this creature.
Shit.
Take that, Faker.
Which has no bearing on your devil sight.
Oh.
But you just saw this creature turn its head around and just like flashes undead eyes at you. You've gone blind, which did not affect you at all.
It's just one of those like, you dick.
It is now. Cori, did you go? It's now your turn.
No.
Yeah, it's now your turn.
It's now my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Hold on. So my good friend Caelum just bit the green weenie.
He bit the green leaf.
I see. Okay.
Oh, I should probably.
This is unfortunate. I'm sorry, I'm working through several different things that I could do.
Yeah.
Makoth doesn't have any heals, does she?
No, she
No?
she has like goat hooves, right?
She do not.
You son of a bitch. Get out of here.
Okay, Caelum, did you use an inspiration yet?
Yeah, I did to hit the what's it? The
Take
sword.
another one.
Okay, cool.
How far away
It's
is
not going to
Caelum?
help you, but
It's there.
How far away is he? Is he like
He's in the
is he within,
back.
is he within 30 feet?
sure.
Sure. Okay. I'm going, god damn it, to take the opportunity attack to run towards Caelum.
Okay.
Disadvantage because spell.
Okay, so that natural 20 should probably not hit. 28.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, 4. Okay. Awesome. Cori, how many hit points do you have?
I have 26 hit points left.
It does 12.
Okay.
-3 or is that
Yeah, do the -3, so 9.
9?
Okay. So what has he got, like a big sword or something?
Yeah, he's got a great sword.
All right. Cori curses under her breath, and turns tail and takes a sword to the back as she runs back to Caelum, and slides in to administer a lay on hands.
Okay. How much lay on hands you doing?
I'm gonna give him 20.
20.
Cool.
So you do your paladin defib.
Yep. How's he feeling now?
Were you just considered unconscious, or were you knocked to 0 hit points?
I'm considered unconscious.
Okay, so he does not wake up. Make a medicine check.
Okay. Not good at that. 5.
Okay, you do not know how to wake him, which is great because neither does Connor.
Cool. All right.
Use me as a shield. I have 45 hit points.
God.
All right. You know, I never thought I would have to do this.
You got a sword on you.
How far away is Micus?
About 30? Yeah, let's say between 30 and 60 feet.
I'm so glad Danae's away right now. I want to walk up to him, and I'll probably provoke an attack from said sword.
Sure. Will an 11 hit you?
Yeah. Or no.
Cool.
And I am going to go up to Micus with my arms outstretched and say, "It's okay. It's okay." And I'm going to attempt to like bring him into a hug. And like see if I can calm the situation.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
We're gonna die.
Oh, that's cocked. That's in that one.
Please get back. Caelum, you're unconscious.
Yes. Does that
Okay.
put me out? Is that my kick? Do I go one deeper?
Well, a 17 hit.
Oh, totally.
He rolled a 2 on the die.
You cannot hit me, even with a nat 1. Oh, man.
So he sort of hits you with the broadside of his sword, and you are going to be make a strength saving throw just for shits and giggles.
That's a 7. 6, because my strength's a -1.
You're going to be taking 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And you're going to be pushed back 30 feet. Ironically, closer to Tarlayan and Blake.
Okay. Okay.
The sword's going to try to come back up to you, and it definitely can. So it's going to make an attack. It's 12.
That'll hit.
12 hit.
Just
12 will
exact.
hit.
Yeah.
Cool. Fine, that's fine. What the fuck is this? Whatever. 5 points of slashing damage, 2 points of radiant.
I'm looking good. Not the best,
Cori.
but good.
Micus is still guiding bolted.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did you say Corey?
Yes.
Okay. I thought you did, but then I was like, no, he didn't. And then I just sat there in silence.
I know. Things are going bad. We'll be wrapping up soon, I promise.
One way or the other.
So Corey finds herself kneeling next to Caelum, who's not responding to her lay on hands. She watches Makoth go flying backwards.
I tried to go up and give him a hug. I will make it known.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, she watches Makoth go flying backwards. And she's just gonna kind of like look over at Blake / Tarlayan. How does he look? Is he having a rough?
So like this is not the same. This is the same dragon form that you saw before, but completely emaciated, as if like he is on his last throes. These piercings that have gone through his wings, through his muscles, even through his face. It doesn't look like it's like physically impaling him and everything. It looks like this is all more of a metaphysical thing, because like you can see like him breathing and like the thing going through him and not leaving a mark. It's sort of like supernatural whenever an angel gets pierced by an angel blade. He looks like he's dying.
Corey looks down, and her hair begins to flare up.
Okay.
And she will stand up and face step behind Micus.
Okay. Does he need to do a thing?
Yeah, I need a save, a charisma save.
Why not do it at disadvantage? Natural 1.
Hey, that's nice.
I do have a camera
to prove it.
It is a natural 1. You can see it there.
Okay.
Yes, I'm being a nice DM. I'm not being that nice.
She screams in rage and appears behind him. He now has Bane on him,
Cool.
which I think it's just more disadvantage. Honestly, like it's not going to make that much of a difference.
I'll start doing double disadvantage.
It's a D4 subtracted.
Oh yeah, because it's the opposite
actually,
of
that
bless.
will help then.
Yeah.
All right, it's
Bless.
opposite of bless. That's right. I forgot about that. Okay.
Elements of
And
inhospitals?
Cori is going to I have a question.
I might have an answer.
If I do channel divinity nature's wrath,
Mhm.
it's an action.
Sure.
Do I still get a second attack afterwards?
No. Because you
okay.
need to take the attack action to take 2 attacks.
Right. All right. I'm just going to attack then.
Okay.
Here I come.
All right. You are attacking. The first one will have advantage.
Okay. 16.
16 will not hit.
All right. Here comes the second one then. Oh, even worse. 13.
Okay.
Did you do the first one at advantage?
Yep.
I did. I rolled really low for both of them.
You got it. The guiding bolt fades.
No, the guiding bolt's still up, isn't it? It has to.
No.
No, it fades. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
All right.
Sword on the cough. It'll miss. Oh. No, sorry. That was Corey's turn. Never mind. Well, that sword will miss next time. Macaw. You have been pushed back after hugging this undead angel and stabbed with the sword.
Against all better reason, because that is the way that I love to play Dungeons and Dragons. Macaw stands in front of the holds / ties that are around the chains that connect to Arjan / Tarlayan that are keeping him pierced into the wall. And I'm going to prostrate myself open, like arms wide, knowing that my center person is blocking one of those chains. And I am going to say towards Micus, if you want me gone, then send me home. And I will make myself look as big of a target as I possibly can, in the hopes that Micus will run his sword through me and destroy the breakers on the back.
Interesting.
So Caelum's unconscious.
Caelum is unconscious. I want to use my Crown of Madness spell.
Okay.
To make Micus go against his better judgment.
Well, he rolled a 3.
Okay.
Is that a wisdom save?
Yes, it is.
Plus 11 is 14.
Yep. That is not enough. That's 1 short.
Oh my god.
1 short.
So what is Micus going to do?
So Micus...
Do you get to direct him?
No. Micus must make his action... So I have to use my action to maintain control. But the charmed target must make its action before moving on each of its turns to make a melee attack against a creature other than
Micus is immune
itself.
to being charmed.
Fuck! Even if he's my creature?
What was your intention?
My intention was to have Micus drive his sword through me and destroy the chains keeping Tarlayan bound.
Okay. So he's going to do that, even though the Crown of Madness looks like it was implanted on him. He does not appear to have been charmed. He's still going to try and do that, but you will be attacked.
Okay.
And this is above a 20, so I'm pretty
sure.
sure.
Yeah. I got a 12. He literally can't not hit me.
Minimum damage, 10.
Oh, cool.
Doesn't kill Macaw.
Okay. And you wanted it to attack the things pinning.
Yeah, I wanted it to attack the pins keeping Tarlayan tied up.
Okay. So it slashes. It seems to go through you, but your dream self is not discorporated. And
He
some of
didn't
these
happen to move away from me.
he did. He did.
Okay. I'm just I'm gonna nickel and dime as much damage out of this as I can.
Absolutely.
Oh, Cori, could you roll a little higher, please? 15.
15 points of.
No, just 15 to attack
Oh,
against
No.
his AC.
that was less than
No?
the 16s.
Right. Okay. Never mind. Don't mind me.
And it will knock some of these pins out.
Awesome. And Makoth, like, if Micus, like, was it a slash or was it a stab?
It was a slash.
Okay, so with the slash, as it comes down, I would like for Makoth to, like, hold the blade and point it back towards her center of person and just be like, once more. Just one more good hit and we're done.
Once more with feeling. It's the sword's turn. The sword is also going to try to attack you, but could hit the pins.
God, I hope it hits the pins.
With an 18, it will probably hit both of you.
Well, good.
Sailman.
7 points?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Still up.
I got 6 left in me.
More pins have been knocked down. Blake and Tarlaine are barely being held up. It's Mike's turn.
Oh boy.
Uh, 21.
That'll hit. And Makoth is just looking at him with that wide tiefling smile, her large canines coming down. Just do it! Hit me!
Would you like to describe how you are kicked out of this dream realm? As he does 12 more points of damage to you.
Oh, shit. Yeah, so Caelum and Cori, what you guys see is that Micus, where he's originally been doing the slashies, and like Makoth eventually grabbed the blade and like put it to the center of her chest and like tilted it in such a way that wide, crazy smile on her face, just do it. And like, put me back. And Micus jabs his sword through her, and you see her body actually hop up, her feet kind of like lift up off the ground a little bit from the force of his strike. And the blade pierces through her. It exits out of the back, and you see like a little bit of blood come out of her mouth as she kind of falls over limp on the blade. But the sword itself pierces through the chains and pittons that are holding up Blake / Tarlaine against the wall. So as she begins to just turn into these like almost Vantablack butterflies that just sort of dissipate from her feet going up, the chains begin to fall off of Tarlaine, and one of the last things you see of her is turning with that wide grin towards Tarlaine Blake and just says, "It's your turn now."
Okay.
And gone.
So Makoth, you're going to take 3 points of psychic damage as you wake up.
How
back
many?
In Trapboard. 3.
That's fine. Totally okay.
I decided to roll 2d8, and I rolled a 1 and a 2.
She has like, some leaf might help this, and like walks off to her cabinets.
Would you like to take control of Tarlaine?
Is he free now? Okay. Yeah, I'll
I mean, I have to wrap up the session, and this seems like as good of a way to do it as any.
Okay, so Caelum, you are passed out. Cori, you've been fighting, and as Makoth just disappears into these Vanta Black butterflies, you hear the chains like land against the ground as Micah's blade sinks into the wall. And looking up, you see that Tarlane is now just like standing. Has to take a second foot to really gain a sense of just that sense of equilibrium. But then you see his head lift up towards Micah's, and just his nose flares, just and in that same, in a flash, kind of like what Caelum had seen, kind of what Gwen had seen, you see that flash hurtle towards Micah's, and with a thunderous clatter, almost sounds a little bit squishy, you see where the moment where this streak met up against Micah's, this gold and black streak are pressed up against a wall, Micah's with his blade out and Tarlane with his hands pushing the blade in, and just leering forward, his mouth open, just gnawing on the blade itself. And you can see that there is just these caustic marks of acid oozing onto the blade as this Celestium begins to just rust away from the acrid saliva coming from Tarlane's mouth. And he... Yes, Cyber.
And I was just going to say, and as he devours into this Archangel, as the celestial influence on Blake's heart melts away, you can see parts of the wall where there were rips and tears in it start to begin to heal, start to lighten up in this this nice healing energy. And with the celestial influence out, you would know that you would be able to leave at this point. You would be able to end your trance where you didn't feel like you could before.
So with that, Cori, as you're grabbing onto Caelum, kind of ending your trance, you see Tarlane grab Micah's from the wall, throw them onto the ground, and like a feral beast on all fours, just head using the horns to kind of gore at the stomach, mouth just gnawing into this form, and Micah's head kind of lolls towards you, this half undead, half angelic creature giving you these final looks. Tarlane looks up at you, viscera dripping off of his jaws, and just says, "My thanks, elven kind." And at that, it begins to just fade into blackness. And then you begin to hear waves crashing around you. You begin to feel this smooth, cold air beating around you as you return to the deck in the early morning light on your blight ship.
And as you sit there over Blake, you hear him cough a few times, coughing up blood. But his eyes do open. He looks at both of you. Are you okay? And that's where we'll end.
Yeah.
Slumps over.
Yeah, and Caelum, you don't wake up. I'm assuming you just go from like stance mode to passed out on the ground mode.
It just falls over.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
All right, so I would like to say first and foremost, thank you, Cyberwolf, for running our April Fool's Day inside of Blake's Heart game. I'm always excited to play as these characters. It makes me very happy.
If you want to hear my thoughts on that final encounter, you should definitely join the Patreon and get access to our after show.
Go to patreon.com/theindooradventurer. where all of your patron dollars can help make after shows like Nights in the Courtyard possible, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other to find out what the fuck just happened. I'm so confused.
Okay, this is the shit that has been in my mind for the last couple of weeks. This is just a perfect storm of just like, okay, who could play today while LB was gone? What stuff could have been happening?
I am excited.
There's no other time that I could have run this particular adventure, but especially after the events of last week. So thank y'all so much for playing.
No, thank you for running it. Seriously, that was incredible. I'm very glad that I got to be one of these fine players. And speaking of fine players, RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Me?
Yes.
Hey everybody, I'm
look,
RJ
I
here on the
switched it
show.
back.
But you can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life and sometimes stream occasionally, semi-occasionally. You could catch me on the Tuesday. Oh no.
Soon. 2 weeks.
One day. Soon, don't worry.
Technically next week, we're doing Epilogue of Waterdeep.
You can catch me next week on Tuesday as Hubris for our epilogue, but coming up this Tuesday, we have something special.
Tomorrow, Tuesday, we have something special. All right. And Cyberwolf, where can we find you? What do you do?
Well, you can find me here playing usually. You can also find me on Twitter at Cyberwolf1201, where I tweet stuff usually about the stuff that's going in my mind. It's a lot more lighthearted than what was going on here. Usually. You can find me on twitch.tv/Cyberwolf1201, where I play video games badly and talk about lore, usually whenever my internet lets me keep uploading at a good speed. Yeah, we're playing through Breath of the Wild right now. Hopefully my internet's good. I upload the VODs of that to YouTube, where I also post the podcast that Kyle with an N and I do called Let's Talk About It, where we get drunk and we talk about it. That is also on Anchor FM now, and is currently the first 2 episodes are being distributed to other platforms right now. Like right now, you can find it on Google Play. Finally!
It's easier past this point. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't have to change shit.
No, once you get the first one out, you're good.
As in, like, I just have to make sure that I don't include shoot the shit in my fucking description.
Mm-hmm. In your F.-King. Danae, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do drawings related to D&D a lot of the time, and other nerdy things. So if you want to see some cool doodles, go to DanaeKeener.com.
All right, and
Danae also did make the art that I posted earlier. That was Blake's memory.
I did. You can go to DanaeKeener.com and see that.
Which I just want to say, I saw on Twitter earlier that Danae posted her commission info, and even though I know I personally take up quite a chunk of time being like, help with channel art pulls. Hey man, it's reasonable and it's real good. So if you're interested in some really good art for some reasonable rates, DanaeKeener.com, good place to go. Also, as always at the end of the show, I am, if you've made it this far and you don't know who I am already, I am the Indoor Adventurer. You are watching Indoor Adventures on twitch.tv, where we started at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and coming up next month, also Wednesdays, as we get into the Ghosts of Saltmarsh, which I'm very excited for. With that in mind, you can check us out at podbean.com, anchor.fm, iTunes, Google Play, Overcast, Stitcher, any other place where you can find D&D podcast, audiocast related things, you can look up Indoor Adventures and you will find us there, because I have changed all of the branding, and that is no joke on this April Fool's. So if you're interested in catching up, now is a great time to do so. We are also going to be moving into our Patreon supported audiocast called Nights in the Courtyard after this, where we answer questions not only from each other but also from the community. So if that interests you, consider subscribing via Twitch to join our Discord. So consider joining via Patreon, and then you too can ask questions and get them answered, because that is an awesome thing that I like to be able to do. So with that in mind, thank you to everybody who decided to stop by and help support this podcast. Thank you so much to Cyberwolf once more for running a excellent adventure, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everybody who decided to stop by, and we will see you guys.
How many more heart puns can
How many heart puns? We're missing so many beats on this.
Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I don't have the heart to tell you that the show is over and we should stop.
The pulse of the show is dead, and we will see.
I can heartily believe we're continuing.
Yeah, get out.
I give you a hearty laugh.
Yeah.
Aorta, come up with better puns.
All right. Goodbye, guys.
Quadruple.